Welcome to another edition of the Stack Supplement Podcast, where we round up all of the top stories and exciting announcements shared on our website from the past 7 days. And this episode is going live probably a day later than normal. I got a bit of a blocked nose yesterday, so I had more of a blocked nose and didn't feel like I was going to be able to communicate that clearly. So gave it a day. I think I'm a little bit better. I'm going to do it anyway. And yeah, last week was loaded. I mean loaded. I think typically at Stacked we aim to get out anywhere from 10, 12, 13 news stories a day on the week, and then maybe 5 to 7 over the weekends. And it's we were hitting that capacity, and I have that limit because I don't think people really want to see that many new products each day or any more than that. So we pride ourselves in making sure that we keep you up to date on the latest, and damn, it was loaded. So we're going to kick the week off, or kick the roundup off, with news of our own from the Arnold Sports Festival. I said that there was something coming last week regarding it, and this is the first of many announcements. We have several other things we'll be sharing along the way, including brand announcements which are coming shortly. I think we're going to start doing those starting in September. But last week's announcement was a challenge coin. So in an effort to really just drive home and ensure that everybody has a badass experience and a memorable one, we had putting together custom challenge coins for brands that exhibit in the Stack Select section at the Arnold Sports Festival in 2024. These will be both physical and digital. So this was actually something that someone suggested who's actually exhibiting it. A couple guys suggested this. They said, could we put on our site after we've exhibited like official Stack selection of 2024? And I was like, I didn't think people would think that it's important, but apparently it is, and a lot of others thought so too. So we are going to be making like a digital badge and a physical coin for each person who's in the Stack Select area. And this is sort of just a cool thing to show appreciation for guys that get in there, support, exhibit, do what they can, do what they do, and just, like I said, it's the least we could do for guys that are supporting us in this huge endeavor, and what will undoubtedly be one of the coolest things to happen at a supplement convention in a while. And I'm a little bit biased, obviously, but we're going to keep things going and dropping more announcements in the coming weeks. Now we're going to jump into the more supplement product news, starting with something from VMI. And I will admit, we have a lot to share. And after I worked on picking up the pace in these things, this is going to be pretty quick. So some of the details that I'm sharing on each of these things are a little bit short, but that's because we had a lot. And as always, you can go to the site stack.com, stack3d.com, to check out absolutely everything that we have or are talking about here today. The first one thing we're going over is VMI Sports. So VMI Sports is coming out with a premium pre-workout. This is something that I've described many, many times before, where brands create a more advanced, more premium alternative to their current competitor. It doesn't necessarily matter what that current competitor is, so long as it's something, so as long as the premium alternative is a step up. So if you sell a $20 pre-workout, your premium offering might be $30, $40. You sell a 40, it might be 60, sell a 60, it might be 90, whatever. So VMI is known for its pre-workout KXR. It's been around for an incredibly long time, and it competes at a very, very mainstream level. If you don't know VMI Sports or KXR, it is circling around that $30 mark. So it's a very, very cost-effective pre-workout. I would say in the same realm as the likes of C4 Original. And so now they're doing the premium approach and putting together a more advanced version called KXR Elite. Now, we don't know too much about what's going in it, outside of the fact that it's a premium variant, a premium supplement. So we'll have a lot more in it than KXR. It will presumably provide a more comprehensive, more robust, more well-rounded experience. Kind of the things that you'd expect from that premium pre-workout, very similar to pre-gym to pre-gym X, C4 Original, C4 Ultimate, even C4 Dynasty, pre-caged to pre-caged Elite, all these things. So that's all we know for now. Check out the website, you can get a closer look at it. It is very visibly a bigger tub as well. So that again further confirms you'll be getting a lot more in it than you would any the traditional KXR. Next up, we're going to shoot over to Australia in athletic sport. So athletic sport is a very widely available sports nutrition brand in Australia and New Zealand. And last year, I think it was late last year, they launched the Kamikaze energy drink. Now, Kamikaze was one of the first supplements Athletic Sport ever launched, and it is a pre-workout, stimulant pre-workout. So they came out with that, I can't remember exactly when they came out with it, but they debuted with Kamikaze. Then they turned it to an energy drink last year, jumping on the trend, jumping on the very fast-paced world of energy drinks. And they put together, basically an energy drink version. It didn't have the complexity that the Kamikaze powder pre-workout supplement does, but it's very much the same branding, and it is a little more complex than your traditional energy drink, but again, not as complex as the pre-workout. Now they're doing Kamikaze hydration. Now this is a trend that I wouldn't call it quite a trend yet, but hydration beverages is certainly picking up steam within sports nutrition brands. Obviously, we've seen a rise in hydration supplements, so it makes sense that these guys start trying to diversify and offer in different formats. And Athletic Sport, I would think, might be ahead on the curve on this. If this does blow up into a full trend of hydration drinks, Athletic Sport is coming out with Kamikaze Hydration. It will indeed be a combination of electrolytes, various amino acids, 5 grams of amino acids, and to add a bit of mental focus, cognitive support, there's N-acetyl-L-tyrosine. So it's a bit of a stimulant-free focus, cognition, recovery, hydration supporting beverage. So sort of just a nice alternative to the Kamikaze energy drink. But at the same time, you could probably throw the Kamikaze energy drink pre-workout or before exercise or whenever, and still have room to throw the Kamikaze hydration down later in the day or later in your workout. You can get a closer look at it on the site. It is expected to be rolling out to Athletic Sports, many stores and stockists across the country shortly. And it'll have 3 flavors, so slightly less than the Kamikaze energy drink. And those flavors are Creamy and Soda, Slushy Madness, Orange Mango, and Hawaiian Spice. I believe those are the 3 flavors. Yeah, 3 flavors. They'll be dropping shortly. So anybody within the region, Australasia, Australia, New Zealand, where you see Kamikaze energy, don't be surprised if you start seeing Kamikaze hydration as a nice stimulant-free alternative to that. The next story we've got puts us over to Ambrosia. Now, Ambrosia is a dear brand, favorite brand of mine. I've been huge fans of theirs over the years purely because they just don't do typical things. They don't jump on trends traditionally. It wasn't even up until a year or so ago that they didn't even have a pre-workout, but they've been around for many, many years. And so they tend to do products that stand out, very different things. And that's precisely what they've got coming. Actually, sorry, we're recording this today, so if today is it'll be live today. I'm going to be buying this one anyway, just purely because I'm interested to see how it plays out and the way it works. So basically, Ambrosia has put together a supplement called Alkemi, not spelled Alchemy. It is Alkemi, and the purpose of this is, so they did a supplement called No Morbidity, which is a weight loss supplement specifically designed to help with appetite control and suppression. And so Alkemi is very similar in that sense that it's a weight loss supplement or a weight management supplement geared towards a specific benefit. And so basically this is intended to be a glucose disposal agent. Well, it is theoretically a glucose disposal agent, a GDA. Not an uncommon type of supplement, a very specialized one. And but Ambrosia is presenting it in a different fashion. They're sort of presenting it as a very much a weight management type supplement in order to help with carb cravings and blood sugar management. It's a very interesting approach. So they're encouraging you to kind of utilize it as a weight loss aid to help with cravings and basically provide benefits that would create a better environment to help with weight loss, which is very interesting. It's like I said, Ambrosia is if anything, they're known for creativity, and this is a damn good example of it. Traditionally, you get GDAs mostly highlighted for things like muscle building, to make better use of carbohydrates, basically absorb better use of carbohydrates, as well as use in combination with things like cheat meals. So that the goal in that sense is that it has less impact. So it gets, not that it's a cure for having a cheat meal, like have a cheat meal with a GDA, doesn't matter, you can have as many as you want, it won't hurt you. It's basically intended to kind of dilute the side effects of having a big fat cheat meal. And so yeah, here at Ambrosia, they've got Alkemi repositioning a GDA for a weight loss target, and I think it's a pretty cool concept. I'll be grabbing a few, putting it for a run. Usually I run things about a month or two to see the benefits, specifically with its weight loss or even muscle building stuff. But yeah, you can check that out on the site, full details, full breakdown. It is a pretty solid formula, which is traditionally the case with Ambrosia. They got a couple of common GDA ingredients. You got glucovantage, dihydroberberine, and banana leaf, as well as chromium or chromax chromium. And then you've got a two that, I mean, one of them is still common as a GDA. They got cinnamon extract, but it is Prosin CI, I think it is. Prosin enhanced efficacy cinnamon extract. And then there is NC2, which is a rather interesting ingredient known to help with blood sugar management and glycemic index of foods. So it's quite an interesting inclusion on that one. But a lot of the ingredients are very much common in glucose disposal agents. But again, it's kind of geared towards helping support weight loss. The next story we've got from there sends us over to Kaged. Now, Kaged dropped a bomb of announcement last week. So we've obviously seen the premium pre-workout trend where brands offer an alternative, I guess, spend more money to get more out of their pre-workout. Kaged is dropping what it's calling the Elite Series. Now this is a sort of a mix of premium alternatives and sort of improved versions, if that makes sense. So some of these products are definitely premium alternatives, where you get more, spend more to get more. And then some of them are sort of tweaks on supplements that are already available. But this is something you need to head to the website too, because if I were to roll over everything that's in here, it's going to take a tremendous amount of time. So basically there are going to be 9 different supplements in the Elite Series, which is going to debut at GNC. I think it's this week, might be this week. Then it's going to be available from Kaged's own online store later next month, so middle of next month. And then I can't remember what else. I know that there's expansion after that. But for now, GNC exclusivity, and then their online store. But yeah, it's going to consist of a whole bunch of supplements, and I'm going to rattle them off as much as I can. So there is going to be a product, a new version of Pre-Kaged Elite called Pre-Workout Elite. Then there's going to be Protein Isolate Elite, Hydration Elite, which is a spin-off of the very, very long-running Kaged hydration supplement, HydroCharge. Greens Elite, obviously a superfood formula. Test Elite, Creatine Elite, Clean Burn Elite, and Mindset Elite, which is their nootropic, but available. Mindset Elite will be available in regular and caffeine-free variants. And so some of those things are drastically different, where I would definitely consider them premium alternatives, and some of them are slight tweaks, like Clean Burn Elite, for example. I think is a great example. So basically Clean Burn Elite is Clean Burn, the currently available Clean Burn from Kaged, with added InnoSlim. So I've seen brands reformulate supplements with tweaks like that, but this is going to be called Elite. So the entire series is very much more premium. But then you go to somewhere like, I think it was, the Test Elite, which is an elite version of a Kaged testosterone booster. And in that sense, they've added MR10, the premium KSM66 ashwagandha, and S7 to boost blood flow. So in that sense, they've added a whole bunch of things, and then some others they have not. So it's a mixed bag. They all offer better benefits, different benefits to the regular counterparts. And the entire thing is definitely a more premium series. So plenty of action coming from Kaged. It's all hitting GNC. I think we'll highlight a couple of them on the site when we get the information. They'll be, again, exclusive to GNC, rolling out later this week. And then you'll be seeing it on Kaged website a little later. But again, we'll share details on availability and highlight some of the big changes. But there's a post on our site that kind of goes over a lot of the changes already, that kind of highlights a lot of the differences, specifically with the Test Elite containing MR10, KSM, and S7, and kind of points out some of the things that are minor changes, big changes, and so on. But yeah, big things coming from Kaged. Definitely worth checking out, and expect to see a lot more of them in the coming weeks based on this absolutely giant rollout of a 9 supplement series exclusive to GNC. Next up, we're going to go over to RYSE, another very, very large company, sports nutrition brand, heavily dominated in North America over the past year or so. And they've announced kind of similar to what we've got at Kaged, a premium version of a supplement they already have available. Now, this is, I would say this is a slightly different case because this is a more advanced creatine. So RYSE already has a standalone creatine monohydrate, which is indeed just a straightforward, unflavored bottle of creatine, as basic as you can get. They've now come out with they've now come out with loaded creatine. Now this is intended to be a more advanced creatine-based muscle builder. So it's kind of a spin-off of the creatine, but also at the same time, just like a muscle builder with creatine base where you wouldn't need standalone creatine. They're very similar to MuscleTech's Creactor, where they've got more advanced creatine, very similar to Go Size, which is one of my go-to creatines with a good amount of creatine and accompanying other ingredients like epicatechins, beta-alanine I think is there as well. There's a couple of things in there basically that complement the creatine, kind of propel similar benefits and can be taken in similar fashion to creatine on a daily basis. But yeah, loaded creatine is the latest from RYSE. Brings together 3 sources of creatine. You've got 750 creatine HCl, 1.5 of creatine MagnaPower, then 4 grams of creatine monohydrate. Then, as I said, with these advanced creatine supplements, you get additional ingredients that kind of help support similar benefits to creatine, making a nice, I guess, complementary, streamlined creatine-based muscle builder. So alongside the creatine, there's 2.5 grams of betaine, 450 milligrams of the premium and proven PKTP, and then there's the Calci K blend, premium Calci K electrolyte mineral blend. And so it's a pretty comprehensive supplement I take my creatine post-workout. Some people do pre, intra, morning, night, pretty much whenever you want. But with the added ingredients like the betaine and the PKTP and even the electrolytes, you could probably just throw this down pre to get the benefits of the other things in there for your workout specifically. So yeah, definitely check that out on the site. We've got a nice breakdown and details on where to get it, but very much treat it as you would a premium pre-workout. If you want to spend more on your creatine to get more, loaded creatine is where you're at. And again, it's very similar to some other creatine-based muscle builders, but in the case of like Go Size, for example, they don't have a standalone creatine, so that would be their go-to creatine, whereas RYSE have got the standalone essential creatine monohydrate or loaded creatine. Next up, we're going to shoot over to Rule 1. So Rule 1 is a absolute giant sports nutrition brand. They have been around for many, many years, and their full name is Rule 1 Proteins, or that's what they're commonly referred to. And as you could probably gather from a name like that, they are very protein heavy. They have all sorts of protein powders, caseins, isolates, plant-based, blends, different blends, protein snacks. They have functional foods. They got a lot of protein stuff. They do dabble in other areas. They got a pre-workout. They've had some weight loss stuff as well, aminos. But protein is kind of what I've always known them for, and they've expanded, despite already having that giant selection of supplements. They have expanded on that with a new product called Source 7 Protein. Now this is kind of, the name does come from the fact that it has 7 different sources of protein, as you would expect with that title, all combined together to provide, 22 grams of protein. And the blend is made up of whey, hydrolyzed whey, isolate concentrate, native whey, milk isolate, micellar casein, and pea protein. Now the difference with this one is they're not shooting to provide a supremely lean nutrition profile. And in Rule 1 Protein's defense, they have products for that already. Like I said, they have one of the biggest selections of protein powders you will find, not just in North America, but internationally. They have just a wide selection. So if you want something lean, they've already got that. If you just want a blend, they've already got that. This is geared towards a more gourmet experience where you sacrifice a bit of extra macros, but for an incredibly indulgent taste. And again, that's not for everyone. Some people might just want a lean source. Rule 1 Proteins has you already serviced in that area. This is specifically geared towards a great taste with that variety of protein sources. So alongside the 22 grams of protein, so slightly less than the typical 25, you get 9 grams of carbs, 3 to 5 grams, a little bit more than the typical. I think we mentioned on the site the typical carb range is 3 to 5. Half of those carbs are around sugar, 4 grams of fat, and 160 calories. So most protein powders, I would say, typical range is 25 grams of protein, 120 to 130 calories. Here you get slightly less protein at 22 and 160 calories. So it's, like I said, the goal here is to offer a more indulgent experience. And with those macros, I wouldn't take it as like, it's a bigger nutrition profile. I take that as in they've given those so they can deliver that great taste. This is, again, coming from a brand who already has you serviced on the lean side pretty robustly. And they've launched the supplement in 5 flavors, plenty of flavors. 6, sorry. I was just trying to read what we had written down. There are 6 flavors: pistachio, salted caramel, cookies and cream, chocolate, peanut butter, and of course the classics, chocolate and vanilla. Now, this is indeed obviously the extra macros, an extra blend, an extra serving size. So what I mean by that is, while you would usually get 25 grams of protein, 120, 130 calories, that sometimes is from a serving size of maybe 30 to 35 grams. The serving size on this is a little bit bigger. So let's just say 2 pounds of protein, a 2 pound tub of this versus a 2 pound tub of something with a smaller serving size. If it's better value, you have to take into account that you're getting less servings per the volume of powder. But in saying that, Rule 1 Proteins it's no slouch in protein powder. It's got incredible experience, and they've priced this accordingly. So this thing launched, I don't know what the price is now, but they launched this at $23.99 for a 2 pound tub. Now again, keep in mind that that's not equivalent to a 2 pound tub of isolate at $45. An isolate will give you 30 servings with like 25 grams of protein a piece, right? This is $24 for a 2 pound tub of 20 to 23 servings with 22 grams of protein a piece. Now that probably balances out to roughly the same, or at least close to it. But that's why I think they've done a pretty good job here. They haven't tried to sell you a 2 pound tub of protein powder for your traditional 2 pound price and kind of pull a fast one. They've actually given you a price tag for this thing. And like I said, they already have protein powders that service that market for that point. So I think it's pretty cool of them to do a 2 pound tub with that fewer servings, with that less protein, with that bigger serving size, and price it as it should be. Because there are a lot of protein powders that I've seen, many protein powders that I've seen, that you will get like a 2 pound tub of protein powder and then a 2 pound tub of protein powder, both at $45. One's an isolate and one's a blend that has a serving size of 40 grams. And on the surface, they might seem the same, but because of that serving size, you get far fewer servings than you would in the leaner supplement. And again, I commend Rule 1 Proteins here for doing that, for pricing it accordingly, and not trying to match the price of something you're familiar with and saying this is 2 pounds of this equal to this. So pretty cool on that part. Just another great addition to the Rule 1 lineup, and it does have 2 sizes as well. So that $23.99 for 2 pounds. There is an even more cost-effective 5 pounder with 55 to 58 servings at $51. So check that out on the site. Full details, full breakdown, and you can buy it straight from Rule 1's website. Next up, we've got, I'm really trying my ass to squeeze all this in. Next, we're going to shoot over to Sneak. So Sneak is a UK-based gaming supplement company. They are known for their creativity, and I will have mentioned this many, many times here on the podcast. So this won't come as a surprise, but Sneak has really done it again. They have announced a series of flavors, and I'm going to call this a series of flavors because as far as I know, it is a special edition flavor series, but the entire series is called Sneak Shake. Now what these are is it's Sneak's signature energy and focus sport and gaming supplement in more milkshake style flavors, and more importantly, to just make it pop, to make it different, they're encouraging people to mix it with milk or a milk alternative. Not water, milk. And I mean, this thing caught my attention, and it's a great way to put a spin on 3 different flavors of a supplement fans already familiar with. You get the collaborations, you get the special edition uniques, you get all these cool little twists, but Sneak just knows how to do it. And I mean, I don't think I've ever seen anyone in the history of gaming, pre-workout, aminos, anything that's not protein, encourage fans to mix that supplement with milk. That's a little something else. It's just a bit of fun, and it's a bit of difference. And so yeah, they've described this sneak shake as pretty much just their regular signature sneak boost with a twist of milk, or their milkshake twist. There are 3 flavors, all of which are obviously more fitting for a milkshake than your typical fruit punch. Blue raspberry, there is vanilla raspberry creamsicle, caramel latte, and I'm thinking, vanilla and raspberry creamsicle and caramel latte. So vanilla separate. So 3 flavors in total. They're launching last week. They're launching this week. I think they're launching this coming week through their online store in the UK and Europe. And to top it off, they're actually launching it alongside a custom skateboard or deck. They call it a shakeboard. This is another fantastic twist, another thing that we've known Sneak for, to do special edition accessories. They've done a whole bunch of them. Just recently, they did a custom katana, a custom sword. Just why not, really? And that was alongside their, I think it was their breakfast orange flavor, the yuzu orange. One of those flavors they did. Pretty cool little twist, and just, they keep doing it. Whenever they do something fun or hype something, it's going to be cool, and that's what we've got here again. The last 2 stories, man, we've got a lot to squeeze in. I might skip this one, and I'll just do the last 2, is more news from Gorilla Mind. Now, I've had them as the title topic from a number of these Stack supplement podcasts these past few weeks, and rightfully so. They've been ridiculously relentless this year, dropping products, entering categories, reformulating special editions, you name it, they've done it. They've done their first ever functional food. They did their first ever energy drink. And this is specifically just showing more onto their success with the energy drink. So they launched the energy drink back in April, May, June, July, 4 months ago. 4 months ago. And not only was it, as promised, the most advanced energy drink formula I had seen, after I've tried it, it is the most efficacious energy drink I've had in terms of energy and focus. And to top it off, they promised that they would launch 1 new flavor every month since following its launch. And they have indeed done that. They did, I can't remember them off the top of my head. Strawberry candy, lychee bomb, tiger's blood, and there's one more. Was it grape one? Maybe, I don't know. But anyway, they have done 8. It was recently they've bumped to 8. And that covers them since 4 months. There's 4 new flavors. Now this week, they have launched their energy drink in Vitamin Shoppe. And they launched it with an exclusive, completely new flavor in sour watermelon candy. Now, I don't think I have ever seen an energy drink find such success that quickly. Like, there are brands that have I've seen that have risen that quickly, that have been around for a couple of years or been around for a year, then hit this, hit that, gone from there. I don't think I can name an energy drink, and there might be some out there. Someone has any, hit me up. But I can't recall an energy drink that launched direct to consumer without any interest or without any retail presence, with a formula this loaded, then launched a new flavor every month since then, and plans on doing, as far as I know, 7 more, and then finds itself in the Vitamin Shoppe, no less, one of the biggest sports nutrition retailers in the country. That is a feat that I don't think you can really have an example for. Like I said, there are energy drinks that have gone from strength to strength, that have been around for a bit and slowly risen, but the way that they've done it, following through on that promise of a quality, efficacious formula, and then not only making sure it delivers in benefits, delivers on taste, they've justified and been able to make its way into the Vitamin Shoppe. Everyone was mentioning that the price of the drink was quite high. Then they went and landed in the Vitamin Shoppe, no less. And they sell cans for $3.49, I think it is. And that's right around very other competitors. It's not the most expensive one either. But availability is a key part of any energy drink. And they've got this in no more than 4 months, ridiculously 4 months. So it's impressive, to say the least. If you haven't tried it, it's now a shitload easier. Just go down to your local Vitamin Shoppe and it's apparently there. I think they launched it in 6 flavors. One of them is the sour watermelon candy. We've got that list on our site. Just search up Girl of Mind Energy. It'll be one of the stories there. But yeah, they're not playing around. The last story we have is from my favorite functional food company, the ridiculously awesome and always delicious Barebells in Sweden. They have not released completely new products for quite some time. I think the most recent one was their soft protein bar from, was it end of 2021? It was introduced as a Christmas edition and then evolved into a permanent product and then an entire series, which is absolutely delicious. But here at Stack, we love seeing new products, and that's what we got last week with the meal replacement shake fast food. So Barebells has come out with basically a comprehensive nutrition beverage. They already have the milkshake or protein milkshake, which is ridiculously enjoyable, as close to a milkshake as you're going to get when it comes to protein RTDs. Europe does protein shakes, protein RTDs far better than anywhere else in the world. You've got the Barebells milkshake, you've got the Grenade RTD, there's a whole bunch out there. But yeah, so Barebells already had a beverage. This isn't a completely new format for them to go alongside their ice creams and protein bars. But now they have fast food, which is basically, is essentially a more comprehensive meal-style nutrition solution. So while the Barebells milkshake is more focused on providing sort of just a quick, convenient solution of protein, I think it's like 20 grams of protein, maybe 25, and attempted low carbohydrates and calories and sugar and everything else like that. The Barebells fast food shake is more aimed at people just wanting something that would replace an entire meal rather than see them through or add to what they're already having. So the nutrition on this one is, what have you got? 30 grams of protein. So 33 grams of protein in a half liter bottle. 34 grams of protein in a half liter bottle. So even higher in protein than the regular Barebells protein milkshake. With 19 grams of carbohydrates, 17 grams of that sugar, 19 grams of fat, and a calorie count of 395. So it is almost a heightened version of the Barebells milkshake. I don't have the macros of the milkshake in front of me, but if I recall, the protein's around 20 and the carbs a half, I think. I might be off on that. But I know the calories are around 200. So this is almost like a double-sized version. Maybe not double the protein, but again, it's much more meal-friendly, nutrition-friendly to replace a meal. The fat, nice and 19 grams of fat, 19 grams of carbohydrates. So it's a pretty solid solution. And if you know Barebells, and I think everyone should by now, this thing's going to taste amazing. The protein milkshake already tastes amazing, and that has a leaner set of macros. So given the meal replacement approach, it's going to taste great. I think there are three pretty straightforward flavors: chocolate, vanilla, strawberry. And to kind of reinforce the meal replacement, or make it a little more comprehensive of a meal solution, as we've seen in a few meal replacement supplements out there, they've enhanced this or reinforced this with a selection of vitamins and minerals, 26 different vitamins and minerals to be exact. The product is rolling out to stores and stockists. I think I saw it in a couple in Sweden already last week. So basically expect to see it everywhere. Barebells has ridiculous distribution in Sweden, almost to the extent where they just own everything, basically, is what it feels like. Their protein bar goes alongside candy bars. Their protein shakes are up there and top of coolers. Like, it's crazy representation. But yeah, so it's going to be everywhere there. I don't know any other countries. They don't always distribute everything they launch in Sweden everywhere else, but I would suspect that it would definitely expand across Scandinavia, some of Europe, and then the UK. And then we may see it some other places, but their bar is the key product that shows up everywhere around the world. Not so much their drinks, but yeah, maybe this will help encourage that. So yeah, you can check that out on the site, get a closer look, pick it up if you're in the region in the market, and yeah, look forward to having you guys back next time with a ridiculously loaded episode again. I apologize for the time running over. I did try to go fast. I did keep it interesting, and yeah, thanks for tuning in, and look forward to having you back next time.